Morning. Me and Bessie are in the shop today. Right, Bess? Bessie's gonna get rid of some of that white fur today, I guess, turn it brown. But yeah, we're not bagging today, so I figured I'd bring you over to the shop a little bit. We have Molly's 8320 in here today, and I don't know if you remember, but towards the end of fall tillage, the front U-joints in this thing kind of went, so yeah, probably can't see that, but there's play there that shouldn't be there. The needle bearings and everything are all gone. So me and Bessie are gonna get started on this today. I've already taken the tire and the fender off, so I got that stupid stuff out of the way. So we are gonna pull the planetary out, take the wheel bearings off, pull this off. Then it's like a little kingpin setup thingy, top and bottom. Pull those out, take the knuckle off, and then we'll get into that double cardan joint. So I'll rip this thing apart. Hopefully, I ordered the parts a long time ago, and I see one bearing, 2 U-joints, and a seal. So hopefully I didn't lose too much of it. But here we go. Alright, so I got most of the oil drained out of this, so we're going to pop this outer piece off here and get to the planetary. That came apart nice. I'm sure there's still a little bit of oil in there. And this thing usually weighs a couple lbs, but put the drain plug back on. So, I'll pull this out a little bit. Come on. There we go. That's the rest of the oil. And in case you ever wondered what it looked like in here, 3 planetaries, and there's a little thrust washer that fell off there. Now that we've got that off, there's a little Allen wrench thingy there. We're gonna get this in there. Yep. Come on. Alright, there we go. Put this somewhere where we won't lose it. Pull the sun gear out. We'll drop this right back here where it goes. And yes, now that comes off. So all we're going to do for that is give this a little tap. That comes off. Boom. That right there. That comes off. I've got a set of wheel bearings for this in Lewiston. I might move those over. But yeah, try to keep all that stuff contained. Alright, now we're at this part. Yeah, so this will come off now. Probably gonna have to give it a little persuasion. There's that. Look at that. That should keep that clean. This is where this comes off. Then here and here. And if it's like 55 series, there's like a Teflon bushing in there. And Yeah, alright. This is probably gonna not go quite so fast, so we'll put on time lapse. Alright, so we're finally starting to make some progress here. These U-joints do not come out easy. I'm sure there's probably a special John Deere tool for it. I tried a bunch of things. What ended up working the best was to pound on both sides of this to get the caps out as far as I could. And then took my old Milwaukee die grinder and I just put a little slit on the cap. And once I did that, I was able to come in with a chisel, catch that little groove, and pop the cap out the rest of the way. So there's probably an easier way to do it. I tried a bunch. That's what worked. So I marked these with a prick punch just so everything goes back together the same. I don't think it matters, but might as well just put it back the way it was. So, all right, I'll throw this thing back on time lapse. We're on the assembly. Went together good. One thing when I do U-joints, I don't know if you probably noticed, I was spending a lot of time cleaning the grooves for the snap rings. I've been burned in the past before. I have to take it back apart to clean the snap ring groove. But we get the axle shaft slid in, get everything kind of cleaned up. This bearing up here is really kind of toast, but I don't really want to wait on any parts. I just as soon put it back together today. So, slid the axle shaft in, slide the knuckle on. Just like that. Yeah, so well, kind of stepped on it here. So here's the bottom kingpin bearing cap thing. There's some shims. I'm sure I could adjust something, but I'm going to go with, if it was good enough when it came apart, it's going to be good enough to go back together. Slap this back together. Alright. Get these dowel pins started. This top cap back on. Tie rod end goes back on here. So dry. I think that was like 1 5/16. Aside from that, a lot of this John Deere stuff's all 1 3/16, which is nice. Front ends, you can tear everything down pretty quickly. Alright, so yeah, knuckles all back on. I got the snap ring in there. So, I'm just going to spray this down with oil because that's what I do. Alright, so battery died, but that ring gear and outer wheel bearings all in there and whatnot. Brake clean that off. So now I got this nut. So now we will cut the threads with a little bit of oil. Line this on. Okay, so the battery died long before I got this lined up. I think last time I did this, I had the other tire, the tractor jacked up so I could just spin that to get everything in there moving. But I finally, I put a little grease on that thrust washer and put the sun gear with this outside part of the hub and was able to slide it on there without that thrust washer falling down. So everything seems to be good. We got this tractor back together. The only thing that's lacking is the tire and the fender, but I may juggle around some tractor tires between this tractor and the 8130, so I'm going to think about that tonight, and then if I'm going to do that, then tomorrow I'll back the 8130 in here and put these 14.9s on the front of that tractor, because that's going to be going down between the rows. That tractor has 16.9s on it, so the little wider tire will help her out disking, help her fill in her tracks easier. So, and if that's the case, then I'm going to probably be buying tires. I want to put rears on the 8130 anyway, so yeah, spend money.